All right, what is up, takers, and welcome back to Ty's Take Today Live. You guys already know who it is. I go by the name of the Tyler Belts. I love talking with my hands. But anyways, we do this every Thursday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're ready to dive into some hot topics. We have, of course, the fabulous Benicia, Ciara, joining us. So I am super excited. You may have seen her on a previous episode. She's returning for her second time. And we're just going to continue manifesting greatness for the two of us and continue to have lives and exciting content for you all. And you already know, I'm going to drop it real quick. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/@It's Ty's Take Today. Go ahead and subscribe to us on Instagram as well at It's Ty's Take Today. And be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, of course, at It's Ty's Take Today. We try to make it real simple for you all. And then if you're old school or you just prefer the website and blogs, be sure to go ahead and visit TysTakeToday.com for all the stories. Our previous live, we talked to comedian Haha Herbie. We talked about the California wildfires, his experience, as well as be sure to be mindful and donate, of course, with caution. Unfortunately, there are a lot of scammers out there. So if you visit our website, you can get some tips from the Better Business Bureau to make sure that you are donating and supporting the victims of the California wildfires and donating to a reputable cause or charity or organization. All right. Y'all excited? I'm excited. Everyone's talking about the Wendy Williams interview today, and I have two strong people with very opinionated opinions. So opinionated opinions? Yeah, we're going to go with that. But anyways, so joining us today is actor, writer, producer, and host of Brew and Banter, Dueal Andrews, as well as, like I said, Benicia. So I think it's time to get into these topics. I'm going to go ahead and add my guests to the stage. Hey.
Hey. What's going on, takers?
Hey, yes. Y'all already know. Y'all are a part of the Taker family already. So first off, I just want to check in with you all. Mental health is a big topic in conversation that we strive to have with all of our guest co-hosts and our guests on the show. So I just want to take a moment to check in with the two of you and to see how you guys are doing today.
This is the best I've ever been in life. I am happy. God has blessed me. I've never experienced this type of joy. I don't know what I'm coming into, but I'm confidently confused where the Lord has taken me.
Amen. Yes. I'm going to have to piggyback on Benicia. Like sometimes I realize today what the word for me is gratitude. I'm just grateful to be living, to be breathing, and to be where I am. Because at the same time, we forget it's okay to strive for more, but also be appreciative of where you're at this moment, because you have to be present. People don't want to be present. You got to be present. So that's what I'm thankful for right now. So I'm with you, girl.
Absolutely, you guys. Well, I am so excited to have these conversations. For those of you that didn't get to see behind the scenes, we've already been diving in and talking about Wendy Williams, her interview, life, mental health. So first off, I want to talk to you guys about TikTok being banned. So real quick, for those of you that may not know, how do you not know? TikTok is apparently, allegedly, maybe not going to be banned in the US. But to my understanding, it's, for those that have it, it's not just going to vanish. What the ban actually is it's going to be banned from the App Store. So if you have it now, you're good for now. But like any updates, any additional people downloading the app from the App Store, it's not gonna be a thing. So I want to get your guys' thoughts. Do you guys use TikTok? But also, like, part of me is also like, by like later on tonight, going to go to my profile and make sure I download all my videos just to make sure. And I want the numbers too, like, because we all are in the industry, so It's all about the numbers. So like, I got TikToks on from like me on Nick Cannon's talk show, like me and Sherry Shepherd. So I gotta download these just in case everything just vanishes.
You got to.
You have to.
Take all your videos.
I think honestly, if you're older Gen Z, this is your second go round. This is Vine Part 2. Everybody is gonna, this is your second go round. So those that are nervous, we've been here before. You'll be okay. Is it sad? Yes. I'm gonna lose a lot of people, a lot of community, a lot of recipes, and a lot of good jokes.
Benicia, you throwing down in the kitchen too? Because I need to learn.
Listen, I ain't no cooking with Kaya, but listen. I like to eat. Okay. But no, seriously, I feel bad because this is not even only because we're losing laughs and jokes. People are losing jobs. And that's what I'm really like heart torn about. Like my heart is torn for those people and those people that created jobs around those communities. So I'm like, what's gonna happen? I'm sorry, but please come to YouTube. We're lit over here.
Yeah, that part. I mean, I'm with you. My thing was when I heard of the band, I was like, what are these children gonna do? Because you know they live on TikTok. They live on TikTok. They make their money on TikTok. I'm like, you know, it's gonna get real in these streets. However, I am with you. I mean, TikTok is a brand. It's a multi-million-dollar app. You know, people not only post videos with their cats, but they also post videos and with their friends and families and things like that. And they're, you know, promoting their own businesses and things like that. So it's just like, I mean, at this point, like you said, we've been through this and we will be through this again. You know, TikTok is really for a limited time, like any other platform, until something else better comes out. So at this point, we just gotta have to hang tight and let them do what they're gonna do. For those who have it, great. For those who don't have it, time is ticking. Go ahead and download that today.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're saying the decision is supposed to be made federally by Sunday, January 19th. So I guess we'll see what happens. I know there's already been some people like switching over to, I think it's called Lemon 8.
Yes. It's like Lemonade, Red Note, and there's another one. I forgot the name of it. Not even gonna go through that spiel, but there's a lot of other alternatives. But let's be real, it's not gonna be the same community as when we first got on TikTok, because I don't think we all realized how many people existed in the world with our same experiences and like-mindedness. So that's what we're really looking for. Not really a new app, just more so, where's my community with my people?
Exactly. Where's my singing videos? You know, I'm going through it. You know, there's these twins on TikToks that be singing. You probably seen in Benicia.
They do.
Sisters, if they stop doing videos, I don't know how I'm gonna get through my day. You know, because I gotta retweet their stuff all the time. You know, where am I gonna get my echo beaters, my sweats? You know, they be cut. You know what I'm talking about. The sale. Trust me, got me through the winter. All my Christmas presents came from TikTok store, so I don't know what they're gonna be doing over there. But we need to keep it moving. I'm gonna need some type of explanation. We need to unban this band, okay?
All right. So, and then I forgot to mention that if you guys are watching on Facebook, we're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. You all can share your thoughts in the comments and give us your take, and we'll read them back and show them on the screen as well. So be sure to comment if you guys want to share your thoughts. All right. So this next one, I have a strong opinion on. So according to a recent study or a report by the Wall Street Journal, Americans are tipping less than they have in like the past several years. So I'm just gonna start off and say that, like, I know, like, you know, once COVID started, and then like when a lot of restaurants were only carry out only, you know, people changed their tipping habits. But there's this comedy venue, and I'm not gonna mention their names, but they like require I think it's a 2-item minimum for purchase per person, and then there's also like an 18% gratuity added to like the bill, plus your $50 ticket. So you better come and you better enjoy the hell out of that show, which I've been twice, and both shows that I've seen are really, really good. But like an 18% gratuity and the items are, you know, like moderately priced. It's not like you can just grab like 2 cheap items real quick. So I want to know your thoughts on this, you guys. And like for me, it better be one hell of a show. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, y'all all gotta make me laugh, okay? Not one person. It should be a ha ha before you even get on the stage. For me, you know, because it's like, you know, life is life, and you know, businesses are going out of, you know, businesses are kind of like, you know, dwindling right now. So it's like, if I'm gonna tip somebody, if I'm gonna tip a waiter or something, y'all have to give me the utmost. Like, if I should be able to get my Cheddar Bay biscuits without me asking for my Cheddar Bay biscuits. You know what I'm saying? It should be already out. Oh, you see my drink? Just refill it. That's how you get from 18 to 20, from 20 to 25%. Just doing your job, you know?
So the thing about it is I live in Detroit and we operate on gratuity. Gratuity is added to everything. Even like if you get a single drink at the club, which is kind of like insane. Now, I'm never checking somebody's pockets. Never, never. But you know, you're not gonna disrespect me and then get a tip and gratuity. That's not how I'm coming. I've never came like that. You diggity dog wrong. I want good customer service. You wanted to work here. You applied like you wanted the job. Act like it. I wanted to go out to eat, so I acted like it.
That part.
If everybody do their job, we can all have a good time. And it's like, I'm not trying to tip less on purpose because you know the service that you give. And you know that. And I know that because I used to work at Twin Peaks. So, and those that know, that's a restaurant. So I know about tipping less.
Definitely.
I feel you.
Yeah, I definitely. It's like a mixed, because I'm like on one side I get it, because like you said, I've worked in the restaurant industry at multiple different restaurants as a host, as a server assistant. Never wanted to be a server because I just didn't want to deal with it. But like the face of the restaurant in the front of the house is cute enough, and I just like you said, you're paying for the service. I don't think like I get the added gratuity to a certain percentage point when it's larger parties.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do agree and understand that. But like to tell me how many items I need to buy, plus a general ticket for the event or the show, and on top of an added gratuity, because me myself, I'm already going to pay a tip. Like I'm not gonna not tip you. I'm not gonna stiff you.
Right.
So like why like tell me how I'm gonna tip, regardless of the service.
That part. It's the gouging for me. It's the gouging, you know, and it's like you're adding on. It's like padding a bill, like when they pad your phone bill. First of all, you know, I'm paying for the service. I'm paying for this data plan. Why all these fees here? Why all these taxes? I don't even live in this space. Why am I paying for these taxes? It's the same thing as you do with the tipping. It's like, if I got it, I'm gonna give it, because the thing is, these people work really hard. They work long hours. They deal with all types of attitudes, and that's cool. You know, I don't mind shelling out, but because it's, you know, it's being added in. But when you add on the other fees and you're telling me how I should spend my money in an establishment, that makes me not want to return to the establishment as a reoccurring customer. You know, you can't, like Benicia was saying, you can't count what's in people's pockets. If I got it to give, I'm gonna give it. There's been plenty of times that I've given servers, you know, slipped them a little extra because they went above and beyond. You know, especially a lot of them are working, and I just working actors, single moms, single dads, all types of stuff. And we're in an economy now where, especially with whoever's about to come into office in about a week or so, we don't know what's gonna happen. So you got to get it where you fit in. So if I got it, I'm gonna give it. But if I ain't got it, I can't give it.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, definitely wild. All right, so I lost our. I was like, look, y'all, I have a whole rundown. I'm like, let me keep track, but not let me shuffle my papers so that y'all can hear me shuffling. But like I said before, you guys can chime in with your thoughts. I know some people are watching live, and then you will be able to watch the whole full entire conversation later on as well. This next one, so I don't know about you guys, but I love Starbucks. Absolutely love Starbucks. I love coffee. I'm a Starbucks addict. And I've actually worked briefly during COVID as a barista. Let me tell y'all, no offense to Starbucks, but that is one of the most stressful jobs. And you'll be making like 6-7 drinks at a time, going back and forth from the hot bar to the cold bar. I had the craziest orders and requests. Like I had customers wanting their drink at a specific temperature. I'm talking like 96.7. And like, it's not a machine where you can input what temperature and it gets to that temperature. You just got to pull it and hopefully that you get that temperature. So yeah. And then upside down drink orders and like the stuff that Starbucks customers order, makes absolutely no sense. But they just announced, so like Starbucks has this like vision, and they want Starbucks to be known as like the third place for people to go to and visit and frequent in between work and home. But starting on January 27th. So I guess everyone's making changes in this new year, 2025. I don't agree with a lot of the changes that are being made, but nonetheless, they basically announced its decision to reverse that policy. So the third place open door, because for those of you that may remember, back in 2018, there was a controversial arrest of 2 Black men at a Philadelphia location in Starbucks. And that generated a lot of buzz. I believe a lot of locations closed for like diversity and equity and inclusion training. And that's when they really focused in and laser focused on their policy, where, you know, you could come sit in the lobby. You could, you know, you didn't have to be a paying customer. Now, to use their cafe, use their Wi-Fi, use their restroom, you have to purchase something. So I know y'all got an opinion on this. I know y'all do, because your faces.
I'm trying to focus.
I really feel like they're going out of their way to try to take away common spaces. My thing is that we as a community, if that's how they gonna act, cool. I'm gonna go to Dunkin' and we're gonna go to the library. Dude, that's how y'all want to act, because we have to understand not everybody is working off of the same economic and financial structure. Okay, and it's like sometimes I don't want a nasty ass sugary coffee. Sometimes it's cool. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. I'm just being honest. And it's like sometimes I'm just running from Target. I just want to use the bathroom. What's wrong with that? I am human.
Exactly. Because if I need to go to the restroom, I need to go to the restroom right now. I don't need to wait in line to order a caramel macchiato just so that I can get the little key to go in. And then on top of that, I got to wait for somebody else to get out.
And I think it's going to make it more stressful on the workers to now, because now I feel like you're going to run into the surveillance problem where people feel like they're being watched, or if it's like, dang, I just got here, I put down my stuff, I was planning on buying something, but she just came up to me and told me that. And it's like you got too many possibilities of potential social issues that I can see arising with that. So it's like I understand what they're doing in the sense business wise of like, if you're not trying to support us, you don't get to enjoy our amenities. It's like an apartment, right? You pay for what you want. But what we're not going to do, you ain't going to bully me to sit in no sad, gloomy, twilight looking area. Okay, my life is happy. America runs on Dunkin'. I'm sorry. I love Dunkin'.
I'm just opening my mind to Dunkin' because my bestie in NYC in Brooklyn, shout out to my bestie in Brooklyn, loves Dunkin's. But the thing is, what's happening with this policy is going to deter people from wanting to frequent Starbucks and start frequenting other coffee houses. And there's a lot of other coffee houses who feel that competition, who would be greatly welcome people in, because people don't come to Starbucks or any of the coffee shops just to drink coffee. They come to gather. So you be seeing people with the headphones and laptops on, writing a screenplay all day in Starbucks. But like I said, I've patronized Starbucks. I will buy a little small coffee, but I don't want somebody coming up to me every 5 minutes talking about and watching how much coffee I drink over that hour to say, hey, would you like another cup? No, I'm good. I already patronized. I'm here. If I want another cup, I will get another cup. Like you said, like Benicia was saying, you don't want to feel bullied going into a space because that's going to make it difficult for me to want to come back. And I'm going to look at Dunkin's. I'm going to look at all the other coffee houses because they don't have these policies. They're just welcome to have service. That's it. And it's not about the coffee. It's about, can I go to a place and feel comfortable and gather and do my thing? That's pretty much what it is. And if you reverse that policy, like they did back then with them young men, it's going to deter a lot of people. And if Starbucks wants to keep being Starbucks, y'all going to have to be a little bit more mindful of your demographics. That's all I'm saying. When y'all put locations.
And I agree. And I think that, I think the policy itself is just going to make things more complicated because now as a barista, you have to quote unquote monitor who's patronizing and then who's just loitering. Like it's going to become bigger issues than what it needs to be. Because I was today years old when I found out that At Home actually has a restroom So I was like, all this time I'm going furniture shopping and house shop, and I'm like, oh.
Huh.
And guess what? I used their restroom and I didn't buy anything today. I'm just saying.
Great.
So.
That's what we love to hear. Humans
Hey.
being humans without expectations or
Exactly.
transactions. Let's work on that, America.
Yeah, humankind. Come on.
For real. For real. All right, y'all. Give me just a second because it looks like our Facebook stream just went off. But I want to see if we can get it back on Facebook. All right. So we'll repost the episode for those that were watching on Facebook. It looks like it dropped. All right. So this next one, I'm super excited. I'm gonna actually share a clip really quickly of Wendy Williams and Don Lemon's interview that aired earlier this morning, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Wendy.
Hi, Dawn.
Wendy, I miss you.
Dawn, look, my phone is with the Guardian person. You know what I'm saying? This phone that I'm talking on is a phone where I can call you, but you can't call me. I've never heard of a phone like this in my life. Anyway, it's good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. They didn't take your phone after this interview you did with Charlemagne, did they?
Listen. Look, my life is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I've been with this Guardian person for 3 years. For 3 years of my life, look, I'm isolated. I feel like I'm in prison. You understand? I can't go out. All I can do is look at the window, and anytime I go out, it's because I'm going out with the person that the Guardian has assigned to me. So if I want to go out, for lunch, you know what I'm saying, then I have got to go with this woman. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go out, like my dad turned 94,
and you can't go. Wendy, let me ask you this. I heard the interview, and I want to cover some things that didn't happen in the interview. Now, do you remember the last time that you were at the house, and I'm just going to be honest, you took your wig off, and we had a real heart-to-heart, and I was like, here's the real Wendy. And I said, Wendy, would you ever go on without your wig and do a thing with me? You said, no, because this is how people know me. So, Wendy, I want to know what is going on with you? Why do you feel, do you feel desperate now that you're in a desperate situation? What's up?
Well, first of all, about my actual hair, is longer, but it's thin, and that's why I wear wigs, people.
It looks fine. Wendy, I said to you that you were beautiful, and I was like, this is the Wendy that people need to know with your hair down. So talk to me. Okay. What's up?
Okay. Well, what's going on is I've been in this system, like I said, for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm presently right now, I'm in New York at this place, and it's not to say horrible things about older people. It's just that the people that live here are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s. And I don't know, maybe they're 60 like me. I can't tell. People are in wheelchairs. Some people aren't in wheelchairs, but they walk very. Listen, clearly they are not of my sound mind and body. You understand what I'm saying?
Wendy, are you incapacitated?
Hell fucking no. Look, Alex, please address what has been going on with me. Alex, by the way, has actually been here, right here. She flew from Miami to New York, and she's been right here, and she sees the people. She sees the look.
Okay, Wendy, I'm going to ask you. Slow down. Okay, slow down. You don't believe you're incapacitated. The Guardian has said you're incapacitated permanently and that you have dementia.
Yes, and
frontal aphasia.
You want to know what? Listen, and I don't know how much I can talk without being punished. You know what I'm saying? And I won't be able to see my dad, and I won't be able to, do anything, and I'll be stuck in this prison I'm in for the rest of my life. You understand what I'm saying?
You feel like you're in a prison, in an apartment.
Instant happiness is here.
All right, so that's just a portion of the interview conversation that Don Lemon had earlier today. So a lot to unpack, to say the least. And like I said earlier, she did also speak to the Breakfast Club. My thoughts on this is that, like I told you guys before we started the show tonight, Originally, I did fall for the initial reports of, her health declining. But after listening to that conversation, and I've been a huge fan of Wendy. I got to do like a little COVID segment virtually with her and play a game, and was featured on the show. But
That's cute.
I've always been a huge fan of her, and I hope, that everything gets to a point where, at least if we're not seeing her on TV, because Sherry's my girl. I love Sherry. But I would like to see Wendy have a podcast, because there's been a lot happening lately in the world, news wise, entertainment wise, that I really want to hear her thoughts. She just gives it to us. The interview itself, though, especially just hearing her talk about not being able to like reach her family when she wants to, or when they want to reach out to her, or not being able to, the fact that it's even a topic of conversation whether or not she's able to spend time with her family or her dad. It just doesn't make sense to me. And we're of course limited to what she can say legally. So she did have her niece, I believe her name is Alex,
Yes.
on both interviews with her. And then her niece is a journalist at a local news station. So just, I'm glad that we got to hear from her, and it kind of is, it's getting a lot of people, free Wendy. And I just hope, like, I'm sending her and her family all the positive energy, and hopefully they can get things straightened out, because to me, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical advisor, she sounds like Wendy,
She does.
and I do know that she's, it's or allegedly, because I don't know the facts from the fiction, but
Right.
it has been said that she's battled alcoholism, which is a very serious issue. But as an outsider listening to these interviews, it sounds like she is definitely in a state of being mentally where she doesn't need to be feeling isolated and feeling trapped.
Mm-hmm. I agree with every single point made. We really got to uplift her spirit in these times. We really have to keep her surrounded in prayer, because that's a lot to take on. I'm grateful to know that she at least has her niece with her, trying to advocate on the outside and inside, because since she's the only one that's able to go in between the barriers that she's held in. I would love to see Wendy. We would all love to see Wendy back on TV, but like, let's be real. Sometimes, things are eras, and it's okay that things change. And we want people to be at the best optimal health that they can be, for their own best mental health and where they are spiritually in that time. So I would love to see her come back to the entertainment space in a podcast, or maybe like a Patreon, because I could see Wendy doing a Patreon. Wendy would do a Patreon before she'd give us some free content.
No, she's gonna get paid. She's gonna get paid one way or the other.
One or the other.
And I think people miss her voice.
I look forward.
They miss her voice, and you're right, Benicia. You're completely right. Both of you are right. I used to watch Wendy religiously in my house. But at the same time, you're right. There is an era. Things have to come. Things come and things go. With television. However, those fans who want to hear her take and hear her thoughts, I think you're right. She should consider moving into the podcast space. I'm sure she would still have the same level of content, the same attitude. All that is there. But at the same time, her health is what it needs to be at the forefront before she can return to that medium. Because, like I said, she does have it sounds like she does have some type of conservatorship going on. And what we've seen in the past, especially with other celebrities, that once that situation is complete legally, then they can consider what the next step will be for her. But right now, her family, her team, her legal people, they're looking after her. And we want her to be at her best. And we want her to be the old Wendy that we come to love and adore. But at the same time, as somebody who, in my personal life, my aunt is currently suffering with advanced dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that, you have to make sure that person is in a space where they can handle being in that platform. Because the thing is, there's doctors, there's nurses, there's family, there's people, all that is there. So in order for us to get back to Wendy has to be good. You know, we don't want to see Wendy in a space where, you know, she's, you know, flubbing her words or she can't remember certain things. We don't want to see her like that because it's heartbreaking. And I want Wendy to be well. You know, she's a very talented television personality, and that doesn't mean that her journey stops. It just has to change. It has to change, and I'm sure that we're all going to band with her. But at this time, mental health is key. Let's get that going first.
And but we do want to do what her niece did say, though. Alex did say that there is a change.org petition going on. I'm going to try to find that. I'm not sure the full link in the web of that. And then she also did say use the free Wendy hashtag the same way y'all roll for Britney. Because can I be honest, Wendy Williams, as I recall, she did talk about the Mariah Carey almost conservatorship. That's why the whole, you don't want to talk about 9/11. Yeah, that's where that comes from. So I feel like when we see our role models being put in dangerous situations, it is our time as a community to stand up for what inspired you.
Absolutely.
So please do everything you can. Hashtag free Wendy, hashtag change.org. Do everything you can. Share it, send it, talk about it in your journalist class, talk about it amongst your friends and your family, because at the end of the day, let's be real, that Black woman shaped everything of what entertainment is today. Outside of what TMZ do. You have to give her flowers, and we must stand with her. It's protect Black women until some shit happens. Actually stand this time. I mean it.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
I mean it. As a Black woman, I mean it. Don't play around with us 2025. Stand on it or move around.
Amen.
Absolutely. And I definitely agree with you, especially, you know, like how everybody was about the Free Britney movement. I think this, you know, this is no different. Yes. And I think now that these interviews have came out, people are beginning to talk about it more so than what they were previously.
Because she's human. Outside of her being a television person, she's still a human. She still belongs to someone, a family. And if we care about her so much, then we need to stand by her in whatever capacity we can. And the platform that we have is social media, because these people who are making those decisions are looking at every aspect of it. And if we can lend our voice to support her in her rehabilitation and her bringing back into where she needs to be, then that's a little bit can go a long way.
Yes,
absolutely.
They're gonna do it for everybody else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this next story, there was an article going around saying that in Michigan, you can now miss up to 3 days consecutively of work without calling off. So I knew this wasn't true. This could not be true, but people were believing it and people were reposting it because a lot of people just, you know, post and don't fact check. So let me make it clear. This is not true, but I did want both of your opinions on earned sick time, paid sick time. Just, you know, it's a fine line, but like at the same time, like we said before, we have to focus on our mental health first before anything else. So actually in states, California, New York, Massachusetts, and then Michigan beginning February 21st, eligible employees in Michigan will accrue 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours worked. So who did the math? Is the math? The math is
nothing.
The math
what
is
if
not
I need a whole mental health day? So I gotta wait till I work 30 hours to get 1 hour. So if I want a whole 24-hour day of just mental healthness, that means I gotta work 2 months or 3 months or 4 months just to get the hours to add up. That don't make no sense.
That company won't be lasting long. You won't be having no staffers.
I mean, so on the positive side, so that's just the like minimum requirements for Michigan. Employers do have the decision to have it be the math can math.
Okay.
But that's just the bare minimum.
Okay, it's like a variable. Okay. I would say honestly, you know, if I miss 3 days of work without calling in, I'm probably not coming back, Bookie. I probably didn't reflect it, talk to God, and I'm like, I'm not coming back. Now,
my profile is already on LinkedIn. How about that?
Yes, giving open to work.
That
Very
part.
much. Here's the thing. If I'm sick, I'm not negotiating with you. I'm just not coming in. Like, I have gotten to a point in my life where I care more about my health, mental, physical, all of it. Now, certain things I know I'm being dramatic. It's like, okay, you woke up on the bad side of the bed, just go to work. You're just having an attitude. You're hungry. Fine. Your faja is a little tight, mama. It's all right. But usually, you know, I can communicate, like just letting them know, like, hey, I'm going to be out for a while. Why? This is what I'm facing. And this is real life. Is this an issue with the company? All right, cool. I'll try to move around, make adjustments. Or if I know I'm going to be absent, I'm going to talk to that one homegirl coworker I got and be like, you going to remember? Okay, we're going to take these switch schedules and do what we need to do.
Somebody going to be there. I'm not going to be, but somebody going to be there.
Prepare the others. PTO, prepare the others.
I like that. PTO, prepare the others.
I got that from DeAndre. That's not mine. That's DeAndre Brown. That's from TikTok. Prepare the others. Let me give him his credit.
I like that. Somebody need to put that on a t-shirt. I'm gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But we could also be like other states like Georgia and Ohio. There's no law thus far that mandates, any paid sick leave at all. So like certain states do have laws in effect, at least with a minimum, and other states don't even have that.
They don't want us to be human. That's really what they don't want us to live life. This is an oligarchy.
I'm telling you, they really trying to push this automation. This is what they're doing. They're trying to push us out so they can get these robots in. So this is what I'm saying. If I'm not coming to work because I don't feel like it, just know that you're getting either a text, an email, or a voicemail call from me. I'm with you, Benicia. Mm-hmm. If I'm not feeling it, it ain't happening. And I'm giving you hell, I'll do it the night before, the day of. My health is more important than me coming into this job right now. Because if I come into this job right now, how I'm feeling, no productivity will be made. Okay. Mm-hmm. And nobody wants, and they don't want, and it's funny because they don't care. And it's like, they only care about you making money for the company. But at the same time, the person who is doing the service is not being valued. So why am I here? I don't care if I miss 3 days and not calling. That's a different situation, because you have to call in. You know, if you want to keep your job, you have to call in.
You got to call in. At least let them know.
You don't want to keep your job. I'm with you, Benicia. Mm-hmm. Silence is golden. You don't hear from me. That means I already moved on. My resume is already on ZipRecruiter and LinkedIn. I'm already working remotely permanently. Okay. I am remote permanently at this point. Mm-hmm. Effective immediately. Mm-hmm. Trust me. I remember a long time ago. I worked. It was in college. It was my second or third year in college, and I worked at Express. And I did not get along with management because of the same situation. Mm-hmm. So this is what I did. I planned my escape. So what I did was, I was like, y'all not gonna have me work another Christmas, because every time people come in here to the store, they ruin the whole store, and then you got to come and clean up. And then when I want to take a mental health day, the day after, oh, you can't because it's the holidays. Bump that. Next year, I quit at least, I think, the first week of October, because I was like, y'all not getting me. So I came in with my written my written letter of resignation. I gave it right to her. And I walked right out. That was me making a decision, because that was like I said, you got to have a plan of exit when the stuff gets crazy. Exit strategy.
Yeah. They just have to treat employees better. Treat employees better.
That part. All right. So closing out our trending topics for tonight, I do have one more for you guys. And then those that are watching as well can answer this question. But I found this graphic on, I think it was on LinkedIn, actually. Mm-hmm. I'll share the graphic in a moment. But it's basically the question is, are you living in your Ikigai? and I hope I pronounced that correctly, but it's a Japanese concept that describes the things that give life purpose. Purpose meaning a joy. So the term encourages people to discover what's important to them and live a life filled with purpose and joy. So I think talking about work and paid sick time and earned sick time and just living in your purpose in general, it kind of had me thinking, just taking some time to like evaluate some things in my life. There's the graphic if you guys can see it on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think it was a visual of like just a topic that people need to really think about sometimes. We can go all this years and years and years working somewhere where we're not truly happy, or we don't feel like our work is being valued.
Right.
So it kind of just got me thinking, and I wanted to know what do you guys think? Like, how does that visual make you all feel?
I saw this visual back in 2020, actually, like back during the pandemic era.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like during a time when I had freshly dropped out of school and I wasn't really too sure who I wanted to be coming into like my 20s and my adulthood or just life. Like, who was Benicia? You know what I mean? So I noticed that you figure it out as you blossom. You have to try a bunch of different things because like you know what you're good at and what you can do and how to piece it together. But like sometimes, let's be real, some of us don't have business mindset. Some of us don't know how to handle money. Some of us don't know how to communicate. Some of us don't know what make us happy. So I feel like when you blossom and you start, as you grow and you refer back to your original one and you're like, oh, I could do this now. Oh, I could do this now. I could do this. And then you see the fullness of everything that you have encapsulated. By the time you're 25, you'll know exactly. You'll probably know exactly because I see it as like one of two things. You either really know what you want to do, who you want to be, or you have the gift of exploring life to figure that out. And I think that's great to really put it on paper to see like, wow, this is who I am, like skill wise, without even just, explaining my credentials of I worked through so-and-so and I did this is what I do. And this is what I love. And this is what I can help people with. Because that's all we should be doing as spirits, helping each other.
Absolutely. I'm with you because honestly, a lot of people, they push these kids to go to college all the time to find your purpose. You go to college so you can find who you're going to be. And that's not for everybody. Yes, I went to college. Mm-hmm. I got my degree, BFA in theater arts and acting and screenwriting, all these great things. But I didn't really understand that it was my calling until I got out into the field. When you go into those actual auditions and there's 5 other brothers in there going for the same role that you're going for, and you are, eating ramen noodles on the bus to the audition and back, and then you realize, okay, this is what I really want to do because I'm out there doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they tell these kids, if you don't have to jump right in from high school into college. Sometimes if the kid needs to take a gap year to go out and work a couple jobs, travel the world, have adult experiences before they can say, okay, my purpose is to, own my own business or to open this store or do whatever it is that they want to do. To find your purpose, you have to actually, I agree with you, you have to live a little bit. You can't always do what other people expect you to. But also at the same time, if you do have your purpose and this is what you want to do, that it may not be the practical thing, prepare yourself. Maybe do a part-time, maybe, tell your parents or whoever it is, hey, you know what? I'll go to school part-time, but I'll do what you want me to do. I'll get a little part-time job, but this is what I'm really passionate about. And that's when you start to save your money and you start to prepare yourself so that you can make that transition to what you want to do as opposed to what your parents and society expects you to do in order to find your purpose. You got to let somebody live. You got to let people explore. But at the same time, not everybody knows until they get to that mid-20s, 30s, like, oh, I've been doing what everybody else we wanted to do for the last 20-some odd years. Now it's my time. That's why a lot of people had that second act. They'd be like, I didn't raise kids, went to work for 25 years. You know what? I always wanted to own my own beauty salon, and that's what they do. But they have to prepare. They got to put money aside for that dream. They got to do their research. And that's when you doing the hard work, when you holding down a regular job, but you also preparing for your exit into something new and something you really, really want. So you have to have that balance.
And to piggyback, I just wanted to say this quote real quick that came to mind. It's a jack of all trades is a master. Sorry. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So if you feel like you are too all over the place sometimes, because life feels like I don't know what I can do and I don't know how I can help people and make money with it. You live life to get all of these skills to finally one day wake up and be like, that's who I am. That's who I am. And it will be amazing. Like literally take, I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, yeah, I don't want to say it wrong. Y'all, I'm
still trying to figure it out myself.
Take the circles, the Venn diagrams. Old school talking about Venn diagram. Take them, and carry it with you as you come into yourself. You'll start to know yourself through learning new skills and learning new talents to carry amongst to what you can do purposefully to help everybody and yourself and your village, because you're made up of all these many things, and it's okay to be multifaceted because that's beautiful. And it's beautiful to also be focused on one thing, because I wish that's a gift. That's a dream. That's a dream.
It is. It's a vision too, because like for me, some people may not like this. We are still in the beginning of the year, but if you have a goal that you want to reach, but you got bills to pay and you got kids to feed and cars to add gas to, make yourself a vision board. The vision board don't have to be for that particular year. That could be for 5 years in advance, 10 years in advance, where you want to be. If you have that visual in your mind each day, those images, whatever those images look like for you, that will keep you motivated to find your purpose, to lean into your purpose, because eventually you're going to get there. You may not be there now, but also give yourself some grace to know that you will eventually get to that place. You just have to take certain steps in order to get on that road. So I'm with you.
Absolutely. Dropping gems. All right, so I want to say thank you guys both for joining us. Benicia, go ahead and tell them, because I know you're going to drop out of here. Go ahead and let them know where to find you, what you're currently working on. This is your second time on here, so you'll be back. You're part of the Taker family.
You already know the vibe. Benicia Ciara. You can follow me on Instagram at BENICIA CIARA. Yep, just like the singer Ciara. Yep, very much. I have been working on my YouTube channel, so I'm actually getting more into interviewing artists. Working on that. I'm gonna drop that really, really soon. I'm really excited. I just got a really big artist that agreed to interview, so I'm oh, but I got to keep it under wraps because NDAs. But I'm working on that, and I'm working on actually blending mental health work into my YouTube channel. So I want to help people grow professionally and personally, and how to do that as a Gen Z while also doing that on the internet publicly for people. So I've been working on that, and same thing. BENICIA CIARA. It's Benicia's Buck Wild Show. Grab it by the horns and just ride.
Yes. I just followed you too.
Thank you. I found you back. My phone right here.
We gotta support each other in this game.
I promise.
It's real in these streets. We got to get each other's backs.
Absolutely. But shout out to Ty for allowing me to be here today. It was so much fun. I love you guys. I love the Takers. I love the community. I have been keeping up with all the episodes since I came on here. I'm grateful to be in position to receive, and I'm blessed to even speak to everyone that comes across this. So please know from the bottom of my heart, I love you. And if nobody told you today, damn it, you did a good job and you're amazing.
Hey, awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you. And like I said, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. I know we have some projects and collaborations in the works. So wishing you nothing but greatness. And I've been following you and watching you and checking on you. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else this year brings for the both of us.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm excited, everyone. Love you guys.
Absolutely. All right, Benicia, thank you so much again.
Hi, Benicia. We love you, girl.
All right, so this is the part where we get to dive in to our next, or our guest of the show. We're going to talk to Duel about being an actor, a writer, a producer, a co-host or host of the Brew and Banter podcast. So for those that may not be familiar, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Okay, so some people may not know this, but I'm originally from Los Angeles. I currently live in Las Vegas. I moved here like 2 years ago. Where I started in the business when I was about like 10, but it kind of like the bug kind of hit me when I was like 5. I was one of those kids that's like, anybody comes over to the house, you're always entertaining them, singing songs, telling jokes. That was me. That's why my parents probably didn't have a lot of people come over that much after, because I was that kid, go on, sing a song, baby, go on ahead and do that, but it's always been a part of me. I think about 10, I really got into theater. My parents got me into a lot of performing arts conservatories in and out of LA. And since then, I've been just working. I know I mentioned before, I graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Go Toros, go Toros. My BFA in theater arts and dance. I also studied directing and screenwriting there. And shortly after, I started my production company, and I partnered with a couple other writers to start my LLC, Devo Productions. And from then on, I've been writing and producing short films, web series, things like that. But aside from my work with my production company, you've probably seen me on web series like Wade's World on YouTube, or Reality Bites, or like I said, my most recent project, Bonded, which is on Watch Vim and also on Amazon Prime, which I'm really, really proud of. We're doing a lot of great work with that. We're about to go into a few film festivals soon, so I'm really excited about getting into that. And of course, I have another project that we wrapped in, I want to say September. That'll be out in April this year. It's going to be hitting the LA film festivals, called Midnight in Phoenix. We shot it in on location in Arizona. So like I said, a lot going on. So I've been just keep going. 2025, we just kind of, there's no room to stop. You just got to keep going down that road and keep creating great content. So yeah.
Absolutely. So as someone who wears multiple hats and has their hands on so many different areas and different projects, how do you navigate the challenges of balancing all of the different talents and projects?
I have a planner. That's one thing I have to have. If I don't write it down, it's not going to happen. So I've learned that, in order to balance my schedule and make sure that I'm able to devote as much energy to different projects that I'm developing, that I have a planner and I schedule things. And I don't have an assistant right now. I wish I did, but a lot of it has to do with me. It's a really, it's a process of being successful. It's like the book of how to be a successful person is you have to have certain habits. You have to acquire certain habits in order to work in an industry like the entertainment industry. You got to get up at dawn, and before I even get on a call, I'm meditating. I'm going through my planner. I'm, spending my time for my self-care, because in order for me to do my job, in order for me to devote as much time as I can to each and every project, I have to be good. So that's one thing I tell people is just before you can go above and beyond, make sure you're good first, because you want to show up as your best self when you go into those spaces.
Absolutely. And I know, you mentioned various projects. Has there been any particular project or a project that was the most rewarding project for you thus far? And if so, why does it hold such a strong significance for you?
Well, I love all the projects that I work on individually. I can't really say all, like there's a favorite, but one of my fondest experiences would have to be working on the film Bonded, which we shot, on various locations in Los Angeles and Malibu and stuff like that. Shout out to Bond Media, Vim Media. That's the production company that produced Bonded. It was just a collaborative experience. I loved working with people that I didn't have would never have a chance to work with otherwise if we weren't all working on this particular project and casted. There were some really long nights on set, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. night shoots at the top of the hills in Malibu where there's no cell service, but at the same time we were able to bond together, pun intended, bond together and really focus on the work, because like I said, the project was predominantly POC queer talent, and you don't necessarily see us in spaces, especially in horror genres. You don't see us in those spaces. So the fact that we're able to tell a story in a different genre so that we can represent that community is great, and I applaud to our director Anthony Bond for just writing such an amazing script and allowing us to just be ourselves and really just bring our personalities into these characters, into these storylines, and it was just, for me, it was taking me out of my comfort zone. I think that's one of the most projects I've never done before. I've never done a horror film, so it was just like being able to step into something of the unknown and be able to conquer it was like the best thing, and also to have those bonds and those friendships because of it.
Absolutely. And for those that may be watching that may be interested in acting or being a writer or even a podcast host, is there any piece of advice that you would give to them that may be watching that maybe debating whether or not they should dive in or pursue a career in any of those creative fields?
I say jump into it. Just do it. Stop procrastinating, putting it aside that I'm gonna do it someday, or I don't know, and all this other stuff. We have all these voices in our heads. Sometimes you gotta silence those voices and just do it. Do your research. If it's something that you want to do, whether it's acting, whether it's writing, whether it's podcast producing, whatever you want to do, I always say silence those voices and just focus on learning. Focus on learning your craft, researching. And if you don't know anybody, reach out to a friend. Maybe they might know someone. Put yourself out there. Start small, especially with acting. Start small. Maybe start, like we talked about earlier, with TikTok, on social platforms. People post their skits. Post your stories. Post your scenes. If you don't see a space for you, if they're not casting or they're not looking, you feel like they're not looking for you, create your own storylines. There's many of different platforms and softwares out there, screenwriting platforms that will allow you to write your own stories. Create your own lane, basically. Just create your own. If you don't see yourself in something already, create your own lane and just do it. Just put your pride aside and just do it.
Absolutely. Dropping gems as always. That's why I love interviewing different creatives, because we're always dropping like gems and advice and tips. Speaking of podcasting, can you tell us a little bit more about your podcast and where people can listen, and where did the inspiration from that podcast start?
Okay, well, Brew and Banter podcast is kind of like a Wednesday wind down type of podcast. It's like when you gather with your friends midweek at the bar after work and you guys are venting about current events and what's going on with life and adulting and relationships and family and all these things. It's that type of safe space that we've created, me and my co-host. Shout out to Ebony Jones and Dwayne Drayton, who may be watching at this time. We came together. Originally, I was going to do a podcast separately a few years ago, and Ebony, who's one of our co-hosts and our executive producer, she kind of circled back and she's like, "You still want to do this podcast?" And I was like, "Hell yeah," because I was like, there's still so much that I want to talk about, and podcasts are very cathartic for a lot of people. So we just kind of banded together, and we were like, how do we create a podcast where millennials, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s can talk about life, adulting, who are still trying to figure it out, who just need a space to vent, who need a space to feel heard, to feel seen. And especially being a person of people of color, and me also being a person of color and an openly queer man, I feel like there wasn't really a market for a lot of that in some other spaces. So that's why we created our own. And it's been, like I said, so far season 1 is up on YouTube and also on Spotify. You guys can go to my Instagram. It's in my bio. The link to both of that. Also, Brew and Banter Podcast on Instagram and Spotify. And you can find it, like I said, on YouTube. We just wrapped season 1 in November. We'll be back in April for season 2. So we're gearing up for that. And this season, we're really looking forward to having on more guests to kind of join the group chat, to bring in their perspectives on a lot of different topics that we may not have been able to touch in our first season. I know our first season we were talking about, I think our first episode was about cuffing season, and it just kind of went from there. And, just every week we just kind of like not only talk about what's trending, but also we kind of touch on mental health. We touch on adulting, touch on relationships, and we also touch on how about maturity in life and how sometimes, we may feel like we're on a certain path, but also sometimes those paths can lead to unexpected detours to something greater. And our main thing is, it's kind of like what Bevy Smith has always said, it gets greater later, and it's never too late to start something new. And that's what our podcast is really, really about. And we just hope everybody, can join us for season 2 coming up soon.
Absolutely. It's so funny that you say that, because every morning when I take our dog out, I'm usually playing Bevy's little Instagram audio message that she sends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it's like it's greater later mindset is so true. I'll be listening. My neighbors probably are like, who is he listening to? But I'm always playing her messages and following her on Instagram.
She's great. We love Bevy Smith, but it's just like our podcast was like, people at our age, in our 30s who, we always think by then we have to figure things out. And sometimes life doesn't work that way. It doesn't turn out how you envision it. And you have to start to embrace what is, as opposed to what didn't happen. Because if it didn't happen for a reason. But there's still a lot of life to live. And there's still a lot of new discoveries to make about ourselves. Life does not end when you hit a certain point. It's only the beginning. And that's what we try to encourage to a lot of our listeners on our podcast, because, there's so much going on, especially, in this new age with 2025 and, the election that just happened and the results of that, and how people feel kind of displaced and lost and not knowing what the uncertainty of what the future has to hold. So we create spaces, just like this podcast. We create spaces where people can feel heard, feel seen, and they feel like they know us. We want you to feel like we're your friends, because we are. We're just the same people that you would hang out with midweek with your homeboys or homegirls and be like, hey, let's go get a drink. And we brew and we banter. And that's pretty much the premise.
Absolutely. So that being said, if you could have any guest, past or present, on the show, who would you pick, and what would you talk about?
Okay, so my partner is probably cackling in the other room. Now, I am obsessed. I am obsessed with 2 people. If I could have 2, I would say one would be Cynthia Erivo, because I've been a big fan of hers going back to Broadway. Before she put on the green makeup and became who we know as Elphaba, she has been doing her thing. And I would love to interview her about her journey and what her art represents to her, and how does she see her trajectory going forward now that she's taken on this titular role, taking on this role. How does she see what her platform? Is it the same, or is she changing? So I would love to talk to her about that. And of course, also Viola Davis, because I'm a big Viola Davis fan. Just want to pick her brain about her journey. But I think that we would love to have either one, like fingers crossed, at some point down the road, if we can get an assistant to hook us up. If y'all listening, holla. First go on Ty's Take, and then you can come on over to Brew and Banter. Okay, that's how y'all gonna do it.
We'll do a whole collaboration. All of us. There'll be like 10 of us on the screen.
I'm here for it. I think we can make that.
Already working on it.
Yes, but manifesting. That's what we're doing in 2025.
Absolutely. So aside from the podcast, do you have any current projects that you're working on, or where can people follow you to stay up to date on the projects that you're going to be rolling out?
Well, like I said, aside from my upcoming film Midnight in Phoenix, which will be out in April, I'll be sure to come back and let y'all know the exact date when that drops. But as we know, it's going to drop in April. But aside from that, I do have a couple projects that are series that are in development. One in which is a coming of age drama that I've been working on for a few years now, and we're hoping to go into pre-production sometime later this year. Another film currently with my co-host from Brew and Banter, kind of a suspense thriller. And then also on top of that, I'm also developing a series with our mutual friend, Haha Herbie, which will be out sometime in the near future. We're working on it right now, which is kind of going to be kind of like a buddy dark comedy type of thing, kind of something similar to One of Those Days, the film that just came out with Keke Palmer and SZA, kind of that vein we're venturing into. But a lot of great projects coming down the pike. And like I said, you guys can find me all on Instagram at Dueal Andrews on Instagram, Twitter, X, Dueal Andrews, Facebook, Dueal Andrews Official. All the information is there. So, and also Brew and Banter podcast. So awesome.
All right. So after each interview, we've been playing with our previous guests like a quick game of rapid fire.
Yes.
So are you down?
I'm down. Let's do this.
All right. First question. What is your go-to coffee, tea, or alcoholic beverage while brainstorming for Brew and Banter?
Ooh, caramel macchiato, hot.
Oat milk, non-dairy, dairy.
Oat milk or almond milk, either way, whatever's on sale that week. Okay, at the grocery store.
Hey, I know we talked about Starbucks earlier in their new policy, but they did. They're not charging for alternative milk substitutions anymore. So
really?
I have to give them credit for that. Oat milk all the way.
Oat milk. We gotta do the oat milk.
If you could play any superhero or villain in a movie, who would it be?
The Riddler. I would like to take on the Riddler. So casting directors, right here. I got you.
It's so funny. Benicia is still in the virtual lobby, so we can see, like, I can see her at the bottom, and her facial expressions are everything. So she's still in here watching. What is a random skill or talent that you have that most people might not know?
Ooh, shoot. A lot of people may not know that I sing. I'm a singer, so a lot of people don't know that I sing. So yeah.
Okay. What is the last show or movie you binge watched and couldn't stop talking about?
Whoo, goodness gracious. I watch so much TV. That's the problem. Right now I am obsessed with Harlem on Amazon Prime. I'm actually rewatching with my partner because he's behind. So I was like, you need to speed up because I got to get into the season 3. So I would say Harlem right now is what I'm binging.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't watched that yet. I have been stuck on. My boyfriend and I have been watching The Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yes,
and that is my show.
Justice for Karen. Justice for Karen. We need justice for Karen.
I am so ready. I don't agree with what she did or what happened, but I love me some Karen, and I'm ready to rock the T-shirt. I'm ready to. I'm gonna manifest this now because I haven't spoke publicly about it, but I've been trying to get Ashley from Real Housewives of Potomac on the show.
Please do.
So if y'all,
I want to tag in on that one.
I am so like I don't know. I just watching because I've been watching the current season, but I've also been watching like getting caught up on the past seasons that I haven't because I've never been a Real Housewives reality show type of person. So now that I'm like watching it, like that's always automatically what I want to do. Get off of work, film an interview, and I RHOP all the way. So Ashley, if you're watching this, I need y'all to. It could be a collaborative effort. Let's make it happen. So let's
do it. We love Ashley. We love the girls at Potomac. Come on, y'all. Come through. Pull up.
Stacy, Karen, all of them. Just they all.
Now you get Karen on here, I'm gonna have to be. Even if I'm not on camera, I need to be in the lobby. At least watching the lobby.
So we are manifesting the Real Housewives of Potomac, all of them.
Yes,
all
we
of them.
are.
So go ahead and drop them in the comments. Tag Ashley Darby. Tag Karen. I know.
Tag Giselle too. Go ahead.
Yes.
Giselle.
Look, I love Robin too, and she's on Traders.
Friend. We still doing with Robin? Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You know what?
We love Robin. We love you, Robin.
I want to add Benicia back in here just because I want to know.
Come on, Benicia.
Hold on. I love Robin though. Although, wait. She makes great television. She knows how to play a role.
She does. But
I'll say this because a lot of the mess is not her character. It's just playing a role.
And it's so funny watching her because she plays it so hard.
It's the messiest. I love Robin too, and I want Robin to make it. I do, but I really think her and Juan need to separate. To me, I don't want to see nobody get divorced. I don't want to see no broken homes. But I feel like since they've gotten back together, it's just. It's a headline. It's a headline.
Not even clock T, but okay, let's say that happens in theory. What's her storyline?
You're right. She don't really have too much of a storyline because she's piggybacking with her bestie. If she ain't got a storyline, then she's with Giselle. So it's like it's really nothing else. I really want something great for her, and I feel like her going on Traders and her separating herself for a minute to really find her niche. Yeah. Now she can come back. She can always come back, but I just want her to be like good, to be really good and be on her own, standing tall. You know what I'm saying? She don't have to be with Juan to be standing tall. And I know she loves Juan.
That part.
At the same time, every time she get with Juan, there's some headlines that come out, and it makes us question what's real and what's not. So,
yeah, that's why I say it's a lot of murky waters in regards to that, but. As an outsider looking in, I don't know about your marriage. I don't really care to invest in that because that's not my stock product. But
it's not. But we want you to be happy.
We want you to be happy and whole. And let's be honest, Bravo. There's only I think Candy is the only character in the existence of the universe that could really just be happy and whole and not really too messy with the drama, not really too involved. Because let's be she put in some time, but Robin got put in some years before she get that type of grace.
Yeah.
So I see why she's playing this storyline because it's like, well, what else am I supposed to do? But
she need to check. It's okay if you need to check, boo. We all need to check. Do what you gotta do to raise them children, to keep that business going, to keep them lights on. I'm not trying to get away with that woman's money. I'm just saying, have something else that you're talking about. What happened to the business? Focus on if that's going to be a storyline, focus on the business. Stray away from your family life and focus on some other stuff.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with businesses. She by Sheree. Be careful with that.
I'm still waiting for my order.
I feel like we all three of us could do like a whole how people do like the recaps online. Shows, because that might be something we need to do because I have so many thoughts. Like I said, wishing Karen nothing but the best.
We love all the girls.
We love all the girls. We just make dumb decisions. We're humans.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. This has been an episode. So closing us out, I have a quote for you all, and then I want you guys to give us, both of you, your final thoughts. I call it Tie-spiration. It's kind of so when Nick Cannon had his talk show, he did Nickspiration. So I kind of took this from him and made it my own. But Tie-spiration is just like last minute thoughts, inspiration to uplift and inspire people to carry us throughout the week or throughout the weekend. So this is what I want to tell you all. Your voice has the power to inspire, change, spark conversation, and create connection. Keep sharing your light with the world because someone out there needs to hear it today. That's what I got. Any last minute thoughts?
You're gonna have to go first.
We must be grateful for the life that we have and not be mournful for the life we didn't. Like I said, a lot of us, we have a tendency to focus on what we don't have as opposed to what we do have. And sometimes, especially in these times with things changing, gratitude is key, and being humble and being grateful and being kind is very key. So that's my word.
I would say you are currently living in a previous prayer point. So understand that everything's going to look different day by day because you're coming into agreement with the prayers that you already put up. Physically. That's for those that get it. I ain't got time to break down spiritual. But yeah, you pray for this. Act like it. You deserve it. And just carry that stewardship in your heart. Things are going to get hard, but you're not defeated ever.
Wow. All right. I just want to say, Benicia, Ciara, Dueal, Andrews, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully we'll get you guys back on the show to dive into some trending topics, some Real Housewives mess. And I am wishing both of you nothing but the greatness and success into this new year. Please keep in touch and enjoy the rest of your guys' evening. Thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. I'm looking forward to doing it again soon. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing. We love your show. You just bring such a light, in a dark time. You bring such a light and a welcomeness that all of us need right now. So we applaud you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
The space to be here. We're so grateful. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to the takers. Shout out to all of y'all. Just you're building a great community. You're building something that's meaningful, not only just to you, but to the full community. You're bringing in conversations of mental health, bringing up creative outlets. And we just thank you for holding that space for people, Tyler. Like, thank you for being that one to say, I'm going to be the face and I'm going to do it. So we just thank you. Thank you for holding the space for a safe place.
Y'all gonna make my eyes water. I'm a Cancer. Cancers are extremely emotional. So let me get off of here before I start bawling my eyes out. But all right, thank you guys. And then of course we'll be sure to post all of your social media and links and YouTube links and where people can find you guys and the projects that you are currently working on in the caption and the description of this video. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes.
You too. We'll talk soon. Yay.
Yes.
It's my group hug.
Yes.
Group hug.
Hey.
I don't know.
All right, y'all. This has been Ty's Take Today Live. Once again, I want to say thank you so much to our guests. That was Benicia, Ciara, and Dueal Andrews. Be sure to follow them and connect with them on all of their social media platforms. We'll be sure to post their social media links in the description and captions of these videos. And closing us out, facebook.com/@It'sTysTakeToday. Be sure to hit us up on Instagram @It'sTysTakeToday. If you're a fellow creative, a fellow up-and-coming multimedia journalist, if you're a nonprofit or a business owner, or if you just have an interesting story that you want to share with our audience, be sure to go ahead and contact us on any of our social media platforms. And I already showed you that one, TysTakeToday.com, as well as be sure to follow us on YouTube.com as we are continuing to increase our following and all around just having those important conversations and hearing from all of the various different creatives that are out there. That's going to do it for this longer edition of Ty's Take Today Live. We'll see you all right back here on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, as well as Sunday, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I hope you all have a great evening. And if you get a chance, be sure to drop in the comments, tag Ashley Darby, because we're manifesting it, and Ashley Darby will appear on Ty's Take Today Live during this year sometime. So fingers crossed, we're making it happen, and we are sending Ashley the video of this interview and all of the taggings on social media. I hope you all have a great evening.